Hello everyone, it's time to analyze a new Lego set to see the part out value, and this week I have selected a Star Wars set, the 75432. It was released in August, so not a long time ago. It has 556 parts and 3 minifigures. We will look at the retail prices, the part out value, the return on investment and the inventory in details to see if it's worth parting out or not. Let's go! And first, let's start with the retail prices. In the United States, it's available for $60. In Europe, €65. But I've seen on Amazon France and Amazon Belgium quite a few discounts. You can get it for €47, so that's quite interesting. UK, the price is £60, 100 Australian dollar, and 85 Canadian dollars. Now let's look at the part out value. If we look for the world prices, let's consider a $60 buying price. The part out value is quite interesting, more than 2.5 for the multiplier, so quite some good value there. And if we look at the return on investment, it's also very nice, more than 1, which means that in the first 6 months you will probably sell more than the buying price. So that's very interesting if you want to have parts that sell quickly and that do not stay in your inventory for years. Let's look at more regional pricing. United States, pretty similar, it's a little bit better, so almost 3 times multiplier, and the part out multiplier, and the return on investment is also quite good. In Europe, it's a bit less interesting, but if we consider we can get it for 47, it's pretty much the same, 2.5 for the part out value and more than 1 for the return on investment. If we look at the UK, where the price was £60, pretty much the same, a little bit less than 1 for the return on investment, but probably there are some discounts as well. I did not check that. Australia, if we adapt the buying price, more than 2 for the part out value and more than 1 for the return on investment. And now if we look for Canada, also the same, the return on investment looks even a little bit better. So if we look at part out value and return on investment, this set looks really nice. Now let's look at the inventory into more details. So if we look at the inventory, 556 parts, they represent 69% of the total part out value. Let's now look at the 3 minifigures. All the 3 minifigures are exclusive to this set, and they seem to sell quite well, more than 50% of sell-through rate, so it means that the current listing is pretty much equal to the quantity sold in the last 6 months, which is actually the last month because the set was released in August and I'm recording this in September. So really good sell-through rate for those minifigures. If you look at the numbers with more regional pricing, we will see it's pretty much the same in the US. This Clone Trooper is really nice. In Europe, also the Clone Trooper doing very well, 72% of sell-through rate, only 31 listings for 78 figures sold in the last month, which is very good. In the UK, volume is smaller, but sell-through rate are still quite good, especially for this Obi-Wan Kenobi minifigure. 89% of sell-through rate, only 2 listings available in the UK at the moment. In Australia, very small volumes, only 1 quantity sold and 1 listed for the first 2 minifigures, and Obi-Wan has no listings at all, only 2 that have been sold. So if you have some, probably you can get some great money from those minifigures in Australia. And in Canada, the situation is pretty much the same, but Obi-Wan is there, but all the Asajj Ventress and Clone Trooper pilot have been sold. And there are no listings, so we can see the value for those minifigures is 40% of the total part out value in Canada, so a lot of value in those minifigures. Now let's look at the parts. What I usually do is look at the unique parts first. So the parts that are unique to this set, we have 6 new parts. This slope sell-through rate is quite small. This bracket, no sales, only one sale last month, not very interesting. This olive green slope could be interesting, 25% of sell-through rate. The sticker sheet, no sale for now. This windscreen and this white brick, 3% of sell-through rate, not very interesting. Okay, now let's have a look at the most expensive items. $3 for this white slope, but a small sell-through rate, 10%. The windscreen we have already seen it. This Technic lift arm modified, $2, 22% of sell-through rate. We have another Technic part over here. This dark red slope, very small sell-through rate as well. Same for this dark red bracket we already saw. This one, 8%, not very interesting. What do we have? And now we have this white plate, 33%, but we are already below $1 per part, so not very expensive parts. We will now check the fast-moving parts. None of them. No parts with a sell-through rate of more than 50%. According to the world pricing data. If we look in the United States, we have those 2 white plates with a sell-through rate of 56%, In Europe, 3 parts, but less than €1 in value, so not very interesting. In the UK, 4 parts, they represent 1% of the value of the part out value of this set. In Australia, 3 lots for 8 parts, representing 5% of the value. And in Canada, 4 parts in 2 lots for 2% of the value. So not a lot of fast-moving pieces on the set. Let's look at the medium moving, so a sell-through rate between 25 and 50%. We have those plates, a lot of plates actually in this set that sell okay. This slope as well, the light saber, and the large plate, always interesting. So if we look at the total value, according to the world prices, medium moving parts represent 15% of the part out value. If we look in the US, 14%, 17% in Europe, 19% in the UK, 22% in Australia, and 6% in Canada. There are probably a lot of slow moving parts, according to the world, 143 lots. That's half of the part out value of slow moving parts. If we are in the US, that's, even worse. A lot of slow moving parts for the US. And if we look at Europe, it's a bit less. UK, a bit more in terms of parts, but a bit less in terms of value. Australia, pretty much the same. And Canada, a lot of slow moving parts for Canada in this set. And that's it. I think you have all the data you need now to make your decision if it's worth parting out or not. Let me know in the comments if this is a set you would like to part out for the minifigures, for the parts. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments which sets you would like me to analyze next week. Bye!